A junior commissioned officer of the army was killed while 3 other commandos were injured in an encounter with terrorists in remote forest area of Jammu and Kashmir, Kishtwar district. Now, according to the Army's White Knight Corps, Naib Subedar Rakesh Kumar of 2 Para Special Forces was killed while 3 other commandos were injured in the gunfight that broke in Kishtwar's Bhart Ridge area. Now, the encounter started when joint search teams of the Army and Jammu and Kashmir police intercepted 2 terrorists who were holed inside the area. The 2 terrorists were involved in kidnapping and killing of 2 members of the village defense group. This is what the White Knight Corps has said. Now, it is learnt that the terrorists were hiding in the dense forest area when they attacked the search team. The operation was launched in a remote forest in Kutwara and Keshwan in Kishtwar, few kilometers from the spot where the bullet-riddled bodies of 2 village defense group members, Nazir Ahmad and Kuldeep Kumar, were found. Now, in the gunfight, 4 para-commandos of the army were initially injured and were airlifted to Udhampur for treatment. Later, Naib Subedar Kumar succumbed to his injuries during treatment. Yesterday, 3 separate security operations were launched across Jammu and Kashmir. Encounter is still underway in Srinagar and Kishtwar. Meanwhile, an extensive search and cordon operations are underway in Sopore.
लेकिन वहाँ की जो इंफॉर्मेशन है वो अभी तक नहीं आ रही है कि क्या कुछ इस एनकाउंटर में अभी तक हो चुका है.
Irfan Qureshi, in fact, joins us with the latest on the ground. Irfan, what is happening latest on the ground? Of course, this operation is targeting those terrorists who were behind the killing of the village defense group individuals. And this kind of fight that's been happening for quite some time, especially in the recent times, there has been a spike in the increase of terrorists coming in, targeting and then moving into the forest regions. Then the combing operation happens. This pattern has been going on for quite some time.
Exactly. See, since there are multiple counter-insurgency and anti-terror operations that are going across the J&K, especially the one that was taken up in Kishtwar after the village defense guard were abducted and killed by terrorists. The army says this was the same group that was trapped yesterday in the operation who killed the village defense guards in the Kishtwar area. The operation was launched in Kiswan area of Kishtwar, where it was believed that 2 to 3 terrorists are holed up in the area, and the gunfight was started, in which 4 Jawans initially received injuries. Among one was Martyr, who was a JCO level soldier, a para-commando in the operation. However, so far the terrorists are still, believed to be in the nearby forest areas, and the huge Mashu operation for search and combing is already in place. Another operation was yesterday launched in the outskirts of Srinagar city, where the presence of foreign terrorists was, received through a special information. But so far there is a search operation that is going on. And in North Kashmir, one successful operation was taken up by the joint security forces, in which 1 terrorist was killed. Since there was back-to-back terror attacks being witnessed in J&K, the top, officials of J&K police and Indian Army had already decided to a strategy to neutralize these terrorists who are already present in Jammu and Kashmir areas, or who are trying to infiltrate this part of Kashmir. That is why we are seeing quite a spike in the anti-terror operations, especially after the target killings that was started by the terrorists all of a sudden soon after the formation of government. And back to back we are witnessing the successful operations by security forces, and it is already made clear that whosoever is trying to do any terror act in Kashmir Valley, and the terrorists who are already infiltrated or locally recruited will be neutralized in gunfights.
Right. Irfan Qureshi, just stay with us. We are also joined in by Major General retired Ashwini Srivastava, defense and geopolitics expert. Major General, how do you see the spike in terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir? You have an elected government in the Union Territory now, constitutionally functioning under the Indian Constitution and giving the rights of democracy to a population. And then you have the rise in terror attacks. Of course, we all know who is the perpetrator of it, but the very idea of it seems to say that things shouldn't be normal in Jammu and Kashmir at any cost. That's the only thing that is being pushed forward, because there are a lot of efforts trying to restore normalcy in Jammu and Kashmir in every aspect, from administration to its work, and also to integrate it completely into India's economic system. So after all these efforts being put up, there seems to be a sign of desperation by spiking such terror attacks.
Yeah, but no doubt. You see, as far as Jammu and Kashmir was concerned, after abrogation of Article 370 and 35A, things were looking very bright. There was peace prevailing in Kashmir Valley especially, and there were district development council election, panchayat election, grassroots level democracy taking place. Tourism was at the record time, and thereafter, the Lok Sabha election took place, which was almost 60 to 65%. Assembly election took place, which were also peaceful, and thereafter new government has been formed. The point is that Pakistan is feeling the heat. They feel that the Kashmir agenda, they have lost it out, and that is how they are trying to reactivate this area, especially initially south of Pir Panjal, through Rajouri Poonch. They have managed to infiltrate about 40 to 50 terrorists in last about year and a half, and they are operating because that is a jungle area, forested area with number of caves. So they have changed their tactics also. They are adopting a guerrilla warfare tactics, hit and run. They are not now sort of sustaining long contact with the security forces. You see, initially they were targeting basically the migrant workers. That is their basic aim. So now what has happened is that even Kashmir Valley has been activated, and their aim is twofold. One is that before the passes close in Kashmir Valley, try to infiltrate maximum terrorists. And also the second thing is, whatever is the residual terrorists along with these new terrorists which have managed to infiltrate, try to reactivate the militancy in Kashmir Valley also, which they will not be successful. But yes, there are 3 to 4 operations simultaneously taking place, 2 in Kashmir Valley, 2 in south of Pir Panjal. The present operation which has taken place, where we have lost one junior commissioner officer, Naib Subedar Rakesh. This was a search and destroy operation, because this terrorist group, which was basically responsible for killing 2 village defense guard, they were located in forest. They were surrounded, and this in such an destroy operation, unfortunately we lost a JCO. But overall, one can say, you will find it, this is basically, you can feel that the terrorists are frustrated. They are now trying to show their presence. There are only 60 to 70 terrorists in Kashmir Valley and 50 to 60 south of Pir Panjal. Their weapons are less, but then of late, they have got an instruction from ISI in Pakistan to reactivate it, and the one who is helping them are the overground workers and sleeper cell. That is a cause of concern, because these terrorists cannot operate of their own until they get a local support, and the local support they are getting through the OGW and sleeper cell. And that's how the security forces are now trying to locate and try to identify who are these overground workers, sleeper cell, giving them a logistic support and other real-time intelligence, and they will be also targeted as like a terrorist. So overall, one can say, you will find it, the spurt of the activity will further increase before the passes close, and even winters, because the point is, today the ISI is trying to show to the world that Kashmir Valley and also south of Pir Panjal in Jammu region is still active, and there is a militancy, and that is why they have started this new strategy. And whether this strategy will succeed or not, time will tell. But as far as the security forces are concerned, they are very clear in their mind that they have also adopted a counter strategy now. They are ensuring making use of drones. They are also using artificial intelligence. They are now doing operation in a manner that they are able to basically target these terrorists with the help of drones and all, eliminate them without sustaining own casualty. But unfortunately, we do have got this casualty in last operation. But
Right.
overall, I can say with certainty, Varghese, that in another about 6 months and all, you'll find all these freshly recruited or infiltrated terrorists will be eliminated, and you will find again the peace
Right.
prevailing. But yes, it is a testing time. We have to also live up to
Right.
the expectation of the new government as to how do we target this newly infiltrated, basically Lashkar-e-Toba and Hizbul Mujahideen terrorists which have managed to infiltrate through south of Pir Panjal in last about year and a half.
Yeah. Let's in fact listen to some of the reactions coming on this aspect. Let's listen to some of those reactions.
जब कुलदीप और नज़ीर दो लोगों की शहादत हुई और बड़ी क्रूरता के साथ उनको शहीद किया गया, तो अब जो हमारी फोर्सेस हैं वो उनको घेर कर रखी हुई थी, उसके लिए इनकाउंटर वगैरह चलते रहे। उसी में मुझे लगता है कि ये केशवान इलाके में वही लोग होंगे। हालांकि सुरक्षा बल लगातार लगे हुए हैं उनको ढूंढने में, जंगल होने के कारण से शायद उनको कामयाबी नहीं मिली और अपने ही जवान वहां पर एक शहीद हुआ और उसके साथ 3 लोगों की जो जख्मी हुए। ऑपरेशन भी चल रहा है, देखो पूरी जानकारी क्या आती है, उनको मार गिराया जाएगा, लेकिन हालांकि हेलीकॉप्टर और दूसरे तरीके से भी इनको सर्च किया जा रहा है। जल्द ही इसके रिजल्ट मिलेंगे ऐसा सोचना चाहिए, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार से मिलिटेंसी दोबारा सर उठा रही है इस पर सोचने की जरूरत है कि स्थानीय लोग कहीं ना कहीं इन्वॉल्व हैं। अदरवाइज बाहर के लोग आकर के इतना बड़ा वो कांड करें, वो संभव नहीं होता जब तक कि स्थानीय लोगों की मिलीभगत ना हो।
तो क्या लगता है कि जल्द इन आतंकियों को मार गिराया जाए?
देखिए, हमारे सुरक्षा बल काम करते हैं अपनी जान पर खेल करके, तभी तो इस प्रकार की घटनाएं हो जाती हैं जो दुखद होती हैं। वो पूरी शिद्दत के साथ अपनी जान पर खेल करके उन्होंने उनको मिलिटेंट्स को पकड़ने की कोशिश की। जल्द इसके रिजल्ट मिलेंगे ऐसा सोचना चाहिए।
किश्तवाड़ के कुंतवाड़ा केशवान क्षेत्र में भारतीय सेना तथा जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस ने आतंकवादियों की घेराबंदी की है। भारतीय सेना और जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस तथा सीआरपीएफ के एक जॉइंट ऑपरेशन में आतंकवादियों का कॉर्डन कर दिया गया है। लगातार दोनों साइड से केशवान और कुंतवाड़ा के एरिया में ये वही आतंकवादियों का ग्रुप है जिन्होंने कुछ दिन पहले कुंतवाड़ा में विलेज डिफेंस ग्रुप्स, ग्राम सुरक्षा समितियों के सदस्यों को निशाना बनाया था। भारतीय सेना ने, जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस और सीआरपी ने ताबड़तोड़ आतंकियों के ठिकानों पर हमला किया है। हमें विश्वास है कि जल्द ये जो अमन के दुश्मन हैं इनका सफाया होगा।
ये बहुत गंभीर चिंता का विषय है, बहुत ही दुखद घटना है। हम उनके परिजनों के साथ पूरी हमदर्दी का इजहार करते हैं और शहीद को सल्यूट करते हैं, लेकिन चिंता ये है कि घटनाएं जारी हैं जम्मू में भी और कश्मीर में भी आतंकवादी। और शर्म की बात है कि हमारे देश के बड़े बड़े नेता सरकार में, और सरकार दावे करती है कि हमने हालात को काबू कर लिया, सामान्य कर लिया और आतंकवाद का खात्मा कर लिया। यूटी बनाने के बाद 2-2.5 साल से जितनी घटनाएं जम्मू सूबे में हुई हैं, जम्मू जिले के अंदर हुई हैं, इतने पिछले 20 साल का रिकॉर्ड टूट गया है। इसलिए आतंकवाद बड़ी तेजी से बढ़ा है और अभी भी घटनाएं जो हैं वो तेजी से हो रही हैं, कश्मीर हो जम्मू हो। इसलिए केंद्र सरकार के पास लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है पूरा, और सारी सिक्योरिटी ड्यूटी के अंदर उनके पास है, होम मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर। वो जवाब दें कि क्यों विफल हो रहे, क्यों आतंकवाद बढ़ रहा है। और सिर्फ ये बयान दे देना कि हमने यूटी बना लिया और ये हुआ, ये बहुत बड़ी विफलता है केंद्र सरकार।
Well, we have Irfan Qureshi, who's also on the line. Irfan, as of now, what is the state government speaking about when it comes to these encounters that are happening? At the same time, there seems to be an increased alertness in Jammu and Kashmir over these infiltrations and these incidents of terrorism that is being reported continuously in the last 1 month or so.
See, exactly like the Major General has rightly pointed out that, ahead of snowfall in the upper reaches, there are always attempts of infiltration from across the border. That is what the strategy was recently made by the Unified Command in which Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha was also present. He was heading the meeting, and the strategy was made to eliminate the militants who are already recruited or who have infiltrated. There are also, special information about and input about the presence of terrorists of around 150 to 200 at the launch pads across the line of control in Pir Panjal and in North Kashmir also. So this spike is already being, attempted to by the government to tackle by the counter-terror operations like we are witnessing right now. These back-to-back operations like the one in Khaniar area of Srinagar shows that the intelligence inputs of security forces are quietly, making successful operations in Kashmir Valley. Otherwise, it's not possible without successful information that is being received by the security forces about the presence of terrorists. These encounters are only, being carried out after special inputs are received about their presence. That means the strategy is working, and the movements of the terrorists are being tracked, and finally they are being eliminated. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha has made it already clear that those who provide any logistic or any other support locally to the terrorists will be dealt very strictly. And also the terrorists will be eliminated. There will be, again, the peace, in Kashmir, and those who are trying to disturb the peace will be dealt very strictly. On the other hand, the elected government is surely raising some questions on the Lieutenant Governor establishment, that why there is a certain spike in the terror activities soon after the government was formed. But this is the strategical change, like the Major General was talking about, from across the border, and the terrorist outfits like Lashkar and Hizb, they want to show their presence in Kashmir Valley after a long lull in Kashmir. Now the terrorists are trying to show their presence and send out a message that the Kashmir Valley is still active in context of the terrorism and some other issues. So now the security forces have taken up this mission of anti-terror operations in Kashmir Valley again, which was somehow stopped in the hinterlands of Kashmir Valley due to the peace prevailing. But now the terrorists have again tried to struck and target innocent civilians and also attack the security forces. The counter strategy is in place, and the operations are going on at multiple locations.
Well, thank you, Irfan, for joining us. Thank you, Major General Ashwini Sawaj, to also speaking to us and giving us perspective of the current operations that are happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Moving on, we have, in fact, these three aspects of the encounter that is being, in fact, showing out over here. We have Kishtwar encounter, we have Srinagar encounter, and the search operations that are happening in Sopore. All the three are being carried out right away in the morning itself. And in Kishtwar encounter, we understand that the efforts are on to get hold of those terrorists who have been holed up after they had killed the VDGs, and search operations being continued in Srinagar as well as in Sopore.